On a cold December morning in 2003, the body of a federal prosecutor was found face down in a shallow creek. Miles from where he should have been, Jonathan Luna, a 38-year-old assistant U.S. attorney from Baltimore, had been stabbed dozens of times. He drowned in a remote corner of Pennsylvania. His car, smeared with blood, sat abandoned nearby, a silent witness to a night that spiraled into one of America's enduring mysteries. What happened to Jonathan Luna? 2 decades later, the question lingers, tangled in a web of theories, conflicting evidence, and whispers of a cover-up. Jonathan Paul Luna was born on October 21, 1965, in New York City, the second son of Paul and Rose Luna. Raised in the Patterson housing projects of the South Bronx, he grew up in a neighborhood he later described as brimming with hope and promise. A stone's throw from Yankee Stadium, Jonathan became a lifelong fan of the team, his enthusiasm for baseball matched only by his academic drive. As a boy, he dreamed of a career in journalism, imagining himself chasing stories that mattered. But by high school, his ambitions shifted toward the law, a path that would define his life and ultimately his death. After earning his undergraduate degree from Fordham University, Jonathan enrolled at the University of North Carolina School of Law. There he met Angela Hopkins, a medical student with a quiet determination that complemented his vivacious spirit. They married in 1993, and Angela went on to become an obstetrician, while Jonathan carved out a career as a prosecutor in Brooklyn. The couple welcomed 2 sons, and soon after, Jonathan relocated his family and his aging parents to Baltimore, where he took a job as an assistant U.S. attorney. He had a really vivacious personality, peppy, excited, full of vigor, recalled Linnae Battaglia, his boss at the time. He really wanted to be an assistant U.S. attorney. For years, Jonathan thrived in his role, prosecuting cases with a zeal that earned him respect. But by 2003, storm clouds gathered. He reportedly clashed with Thomas A. DiBiagio, Battaglia's successor, and feared for his job, a claim DiBiagio later denied. A colleague noted that Jonathan had hired an attorney, a sign of his mounting anxiety. At the same time, a high-stakes case involving 2 Baltimore heroin dealers began to unravel. An FBI informant had flipped on the stand, jeopardizing the prosecution. On the night of December 3rd, Jonathan stayed late at the courthouse drafting a plea deal to salvage the case. Adding to his woes, $36,000 had vanished from a previous robbery case he'd handled, and a polygraph test loomed on the horizon. What unfolded next is a puzzle pieced together from toll booth tickets and debit card receipts, a trail of breadcrumbs leading to a grim end. Around 9 p.m., Jonathan was at his office, immersed in paperwork. Some suggest he'd been home earlier, summoned back by a mysterious 11 p.m. phone call. By 11:38 p.m., his silver 1999 Honda Accord rolled out of the courthouse garage. 11 minutes later, it passed the Fort McHenry Toll Plaza on Interstate 95. At 12:08 a.m., he crossed the Perryville Toll Plaza, then the Delaware Line Toll Plaza at 12:46 a.m. At 12:57 a.m., he withdrew $200 from an ATM in Newark, Delaware, his face perhaps caught in the grainy glow of a security camera that has never surfaced. The journey stretched on at 2:37 a.m. His car entered the New Jersey Turnpike at exit 6A, reaching the Pennsylvania Turnpike's Delaware River Bridge 10 minutes later. By 3:02 a.m., he stopped at a Sunoco in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, using his debit card to buy gas. At 4:04 a.m., he exited the turnpike at the Reading Lancaster interchange, exit 286. Then silence until 5:30 a.m. when an employee of Sensening and Weaver, a well drilling company near Denver, Pennsylvania, spotted the Honda parked behind the business. Blood streaked the driver, side door, and front fender. Below, in a creek, lay Jonathan's body. The route from Baltimore to Denver spans roughly 100 miles, but Jonathan's winding path covered 135. Why had he driven so far through 3 states in the dead of night? Lancaster County Coroner Barry Walp examined the scene and delivered a chilling verdict. Jonathan had endured 36 stab wounds to his neck, shoulders, and back, yet drowning claimed his life. Walp ruled it a homicide, hinting at torture. Perhaps someone sought information Jonathan wouldn't give. The wounds told a muddled story. Some early reports described shallow hesitation cuts suggestive of suicide, while others pointed to a lethal arterial slash. Inside the car, a pool of blood stained the back floor, and a bloody toll ticket from exit 286 suggested he was injured before arriving. Investigators found his wallet, credit cards, and most of the $200 he'd withdrawn scattered in the vehicle. Yet his glasses, essential for driving, and his cell phone remained on his desk in Baltimore, hinting at a hasty departure. The FBI and Pennsylvania State Police took the lead, but their findings clashed. Federal sources claimed Jonathan lacked defensive wounds, leaning towards suicide. Ken McLeod, who prepared his body, disagreed, noting shredded hands with deep cuts marks of a struggle echoed by officers at the scene. A slit throat and a genital wound added to the horror, though one coroner speculated some injuries stemmed from the autopsy. For 2 months, no weapon emerged despite exhaustive searches with floodlights and 100 police cadets. Then Jonathan's penknife surfaced near the creek, a possible murder tool, or a convenient plant. The FBI painted a portrait of a man undone by personal demons. $25,000 in secret credit card debt, activity on dating sites, a life unraveling. They insisted he acted alone, a theory unsupported by public footage. Rumors swirled, a second blood type in the car, gas bought for another vehicle in King of Prussia, a credit card used at a mall there 4 hours after his death. None were confirmed. Jonathan's loved ones recoiled at the narrative. His father, Paul Luna, insisted his son was happily married, oblivious to affairs or debt. Friend Reggie Shufford agreed. He had neither girlfriends nor money problems. In 2006, the FBI allegedly pressed coroner Gary Kirschner to reclassify the death as suicide, but he stood firm, offering an inquest the agency ignored. A $100,000 reward yielded over 600 leads, yet no suspects emerged. An internal FBI probe questioned an employee tied romantically to Jonathan, and a Justice Department report cited serious misconduct in the investigation. Handling. Theories multiplied. Author Ethan Brown eyed Warren Grace, the informant in Jonathan's last case, who'd shown open disdain for him, unproven speculation. The FBI floated a botched, self-kidnapping motive, unclear. Private investigators hired by Jonathan's family cried cover-up. Ed Martino accused a corrupt federal agent, claiming evidence vanished, and the coroner was silenced. William Buckingham concurred, alleging he knew the culprits, a knowledge law enforcement lacked or ignored. In 2007, a bid for a formal inquest failed. Martino's team linked Jonathan's fate to the 2005 disappearance of DeRay Griccar, another heroin case casualty. While author William Keisling saw murder over a case masked by a smear campaign against Jonathan's character. Time has not healed this wound. Paul and Rose Luna died without answers. Their son Honda left in neutral, possibly pushed toward his body, lost to evidence. In 2021, Judge David Ashworth sealed the records, a decision investigative reporter Jane Miller called odd for a case so bizarre yet so silent. 20 years on, the mystery of Jonathan Luna endures. A federal prosecutor's life extinguished in a creek, his truth buried beneath sealed files and unspoken fears.